What's up, YouTube? This is Major Havoc here with another gun review by Major Havoc. Well, actually, it's 3 guns today. So before we get started, I want to let YouTube know these guns on the table are empty, clear, no ammunition on the table, no magazines in the gun. These guns are not for sale. My channel does not sell any firearms. We're just using these particular pistols for demonstration and education and entertainment purposes. Okay guys, with that out of the way, you've seen the teaser video of me getting ready to review the Match X by Girsan. One of the examples on the desk here, or table here, is a Match X upgraded by Skip's Guns. The other is a Match X upgraded by Cosant Arms, and the other is an XC with a few minor upgrades by Cosant Arms. So with that out of the way, I wanted to also let you know that the Girsan Match X, historically, it came out around late 2023 to real big fanfare, and then they got hard to get. I'm hearing they're more abundant and available now. So I think it came in at a price point at around, let's say $900 for the gun. It could be a little more now, I really don't know. I've had this one since the very beginning. It was an early release, and it doesn't have the X on the comp, and Skip's is also an early release. So let me give you a little history lesson on this Match X. It is a one-piece barrel and comp like the XC. It doesn't have a little sight island, but it's a flush comp that is part of the barrel. It's not screw on, thread on, press on, pinned on, or anything like that. So that is a good thing. So Girsan introduced this, and it had 3 things that I wasn't a fan on. It was built, you can tell, to look like, because similar serrations, kind of built to look like and act like and be like an XC, but it wasn't. Because it had one problem that I thought needed to be corrected, and it had an aluminum frame, and that was kind of lightweight, right? And I'm like, man, if this thing's going after the people's #1 talked about factory comp gun, it needs to be closer to it, even if it's a budget gun. I mean, what are we talking about? 50 extra bucks? Put a steel frame on there. But it had aluminum frame. It had an RMSC footprint. Oh my gosh. RMSC footprint has no purpose on a full-size gun, especially a 2011. You know, come on, give me an RMR or at least a plate system. So that was strike number 2. And strike number 3, which are basically all 2011s that aren't customs, you know, polymer grip. So those 3 things need to be addressed. So now, here we go. I'm going to start over here with Skip's gun, and let's see how Skip addressed the situation. So we're going to show clear just for the camera here. It is clear. So this is a first gen Match X, no X there. So what the obvious you can see from the camera there is it's been recoated. It has a nice blue Cerakote. I don't know the color code. I think it's a custom mix. And it has this nice burnt bronze aluminum grip. So let's start at the major upgrade first. The first major upgrade that Skip did was an aluminum frame to steel frame swap. So this is a BMF steel frame. Still has the factory comp, no porting. It has an Atlas slide stop thumb rest. It has an Atlas trigger, Atlas shielded safeties, lightened EGW ignition kit with the lightened hammer and all the internals. And it has a nice, aggressive diamond texture aluminum grip with a pin and blended grip safety and a mag well. And this one is, of the 3 on the table here today, this grip is the most aggressive. It's not painful aggressive, but it's not going anywhere in your hand. You don't need no chalk or stickum or any rosin. This thing's gonna stay put. I don't care how hot and sweaty you are. So that is what Skip did there, is use the internal upgrade, the safety upgrade, the trigger upgrade, aluminum grip upgrade, and most importantly, the steel frame upgrade. And look at that, and he tuned it. It's got a short tray. That's a little bit short for me, but it's, so I'm telling you, it's in the mid 2-pound range. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Now, this one comes in, if this was a heavyweight bout, we'd announced weighing in at the Skip's gun weighing in at 43.55 ounces. So that is a good weight. I love a gun with optic to weigh between 40 and 53 ounces. So aluminum, it's going to weigh in the low to mid 40s. With the steel grip, it's going to weigh in the low to mid 50s. That's kind of how I roll. So that's how Skip did it. And I'm going to tell you, in the last day and a half, I've put 1,500 rounds through these three guns, 500 each. Not a single issue with any of these guns as far as cycling, feeding, shooting, ejecting. They were just spot on. I was very, very, very pleased. So Skip did not do any porting, and he didn't change the optic footprint. So this has a little smaller optic. It didn't really bother me much on speed drills, but I just did one or two speed drills. Now we'll get back to, this is my personal Match X. It was upgraded by Greg and his crew at Cosant Arms up in East Flat Rock. As you can see here, it has an aluminum grip as well. So I'll tell you the major upgrades on this one. It has the factory comp, of course. It has been supplementary ported. It has 3 additional ports to help with this compensator, and I believe it does. It has, just like any other good upgrade, it's going to have an Atlas or a red dirt trigger. I chose an Atlas medium flat on this one. Light speed EGW ignition kit, hammer sear, all the good stuff in there. A nitro fin by Shooting Sports Innovations. That's there in Concord, North Carolina. Nice gas pedal. And then this one has Cosant's in-house made right there in East Flat Rock. Turn my light on, there you go. It has their nice aluminum grip. It has a really nice texture, real elegant. This is all-purpose grip. It doesn't move out of the way. It's a good grip. Pinned and blended, very smooth, deactivated grip safety. And it has this nice magwell. This is the Fusion magwell. Man, for 60 bucks, you can't beat it. It's a steel magwell, and it adds the extra weight to that. So you can see this Match X is super, super smooth. And look at my trigger. There is, look at that. It's almost on the wall, right where I like it. Bam, that thing is rock and roll. Sweet and smooth. Weighing in this heavyweight contender, at the heaviest of the 3, it is 46.5 ounces. So basically 3 ounces heavier than the Skip's gun. And so that's may or may not make a difference. Then we get to the XC, which had, let me go back. Third issue. This one now has an RMR. I don't know if I said that. So it has a C&H cross-cut plate system milled by Cosant. So it's no longer RMSC. You can buy all these different plates. I have an RMR plate. You can put an Acro plate, a Delta Point Pro, whatever, a Vortex plate. You can change your mind in the future. So I think that's a good thing to do. If you're going to be cutting that slide anyway, porting it anyway, or changing the paint job, you might as well put that optic cut on there. That's just how I think. So now, with that out of the way, now we'll go back to the XC. The XC from the factory, it's renowned for this comp and the way the front sight works, but it was super high cost, $4,300 retail, and it came with a plastic trigger and a plastic grip as well. It did have the right optic plate and all that good stuff. But so the upgrades on this one, as you can see here, I went ahead and ported it as well. Had it, Cosant did the porting, just like I did on my Match X. 3 additional inline ports. Did a trigger upgrade. It has this nice F3 flat red dirt trigger, tuned to the 9s, man. And then it has this sweet chili L2 aluminum grip with the tactical steel magwell. And we didn't blend down the grip safety. It still has the memory bump, but it doesn't get in my way. It's just fine. But it is pinned shut and deactivated, so I don't think 1911, 2011s these days should have a grip safety, but there's a big debate going on, so you can't change my mind, so don't even try. And this one weighing in the middle of the two, weighing in at 44.8 ounces. So they're very close in weight, very close in trigger pull, so they're all in the 2s. This is the upper 2, mid 2, low 2 as far as trigger pull poundage. So they're pretty close there. So what I did is, this is not a comparison to see which one of these is the better gun. I mean, you'd expect this one's the better gun. I just want to see how they shoot compared to each other. That's really important. It's like, can you get into the compensated or factory compensated gun game and have a nice, reliable, dependable, fast, flat, and accurate pistol? That's all we want to find out. So Skip had his way of doing it, Cosant has his way of doing it, and then I wanted this one changed. So we're just going to go out there and we're going to first do an accuracy test. So all I'm going to do is, I'm zeroed at 40 feet. So I'm going to put a target at 40 feet. That's, between 12 and 15 yards, just right out that way. I'm going to put a 3-inch target out there. I'm going to put 6 of them. Each gun's going to shoot a 5-shot group on 2 different targets so we can get a baseline to see, because, it's human error. I'm not going to use a ransom rest. I know there are channels out there, the scientific type. I'm pretty scientific and I'm pretty data driven, but I'm not going to shoot it in a ransom rest because I don't shoot with a ransom rest. I don't carry one in my pocket. We get into an armed conflict. I'm like, oh, hey, wait a minute, bad guy, let me get a ransom rest. I need to shoot you from far off. I don't play that game. And also, it's mechanical. I believe I can shoot a gun flatter than a ransom rest can. Now, prove me wrong. So I don't use a ransom rest. I'm not even using a pistol rest. I'm just using this tiny, frail little arm here. I'm gonna just point at the target, I'm gonna bang 5 shots off, then I'm gonna do it again. And we're gonna see how accurate it is. That's how you need to test a gun, in my opinion. So we're gonna do the accuracy test on a 3-inch circle with a 1/2-inch bullseye. And it's not a test of my skill, it's just to see on the day of the test with these 3 guns, with the same ammo, the same weather conditions, the same everything, how did they shoot? That's all we're doing. There's no winner, there's no loser, it's just how did they shoot and how accurate are they for me that day. Now, if you are some Olympic gold medalist and you want to take your time and aim for 17 minutes to fire 1 shot, you can probably shoot a better group than I did. If you're a better shooter, you can shoot a better group than I did. If you're not as good, you'll shoot a worse group. It's okay. If you can just put all 5 in the 3-inch circle, I'm happy. So we're just going to try that. And so that's going to be test number 1 as far as testing. The test number 2 is going to be, now we're going to speed it up. We're going to put the target at the same 40 feet. We're going to use a scoring target that has, like X10, a little X10, 9, 8, 7, 6. A little target about like that big. Half the size of a USPSA target, no A zone, just 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, stuff like that. And we're going to see if we can score at least 80 points or better at speed. Now, I'm believing, and you guys chime in on the comments if you want to see a different test, but I'm thinking if I just can go from the low ready, come up and bang 10 shots, and let's just say, just put a little time limit on there, let's say 3 seconds. So 3 seconds to hear the beep, aim and fire 10 shots at target, and try to get at least 80 points, and just see after we're said and done which gun gave me the better group. The camera's going to show you how the gun's bouncing around or not bouncing around. The camera's going to show muzzle rise, recoil, stuff like that. Then the target is going to show group size, and the timer's going to show speed. So that's the way I'm going to test it. And then I'm going to have another, not a test, but just a demonstration where we set the camera at the side. We have a block wall on the left with seams in the block wall and grout lines. So you can, from this angle, the camera is going to look at the gun. So when it's shooting, you can see between the 3, is there a difference in the muzzle rise? Because people want to know, how does a compensated or poorly compensated gun react to each other? That's the whole purpose of the test. Now, I'm hoping that the winner will be, here's the lottery. I'm hoping the winner will be you, not the guns. It will give you some information so you can decide, hey, can I go budget or do I have to go baller for my style of shooting, for where I'm at right now in my life and my shooting game, what's acceptable for me. Hopefully you will be the winner. So thanks for tuning in. This is nothing scientific, nothing other than just a quick demonstration. So you're going to first see the muzzle rise, 10 shots each, just for a background, just for a basis. Then we'll go to the accuracy on the little tiny 3-inch target. Then we'll go to scoring the target at speed. The timer introduces stress. I'm human. The timer goes off. You want to go fast, and so I got to shoot within a time limit. I got to shoot accurate. I got to shoot fast, and we're just going to see how they perform. Thank you very much. When all the testing is done and that video is finished, I'll come back in for a quick summary. Thank you very much. Skip's Guns, Match X. My modified Match X. My modified XC. I got 3-inch targets with a 1/2-inch bullseye. I'm going to do, so for consistency, I'm going to do 2 5-shot groups. The left column will be the Match X by Cosant Arms. The middle column will be the Skips guns, and the right column I will finish up with the XC. And I'm going to try to just take my time. I know this part is boring, and then when I'm done, having a little trouble today. I think my pacemaker's out of rhythm. I'm going to walk down there at the end, and we'll look at the targets, and then I can measure them if it looks like it's real close or whatever. So here we go. First up, the Match X by Cosant Arms. Left column. All right, bottom left. All right, rush those last two. Doesn't lock back because I have a gas pedal. Not a problem. Switching to skips, it will be the middle column, 5 and 5. Bottom middle. Gas pedal. Clear. Let's do the XC last. Right hand column. Man, that's sweet. I'm afraid I went a little too fast for an accuracy test. Aim small, miss small. Let's go look. I hate rushing these tests up, but looks like weather's coming in. Let's go look. I can't see. I'm not bringing the tape measure. I forgot it. Let me switch the view here. Match X Cosant, nice group. Match X Cosant, nice group. Skips, not a bad group, just a little off to the right. That dot's a little bigger. It doesn't adjust for me, it's automatic. And that's a nice group there, Skips, in the middle. XC, as you can see, I believe I'd have to call it, I don't know. We'll use a tape measure off camera and see which one's closer, the XC or the Cosant. But those two are close to tied. I'll be right back. Thank you very much. Well, it was very close. I probably should have taken my time. But as you can see here, the Match X from Cosant, the first group, I aim at the middle on every one, was a 1-inch group center to center. The tape measure picture will prove that. And the second group, I pulled the last two. I was speeding up, but my first three were one ragged hole. Then I sped up and I pulled 2 low left. See that 1 and 8 center to center bullet holes, close as I can measure with a tape measure, not having a micrometer here. Then the Skips guns, it's not sighted in for me, and the dots, one of them SCS automatic dots, so it was a little bit blooming for me, but it was a 1.5-inch group, totally respectable offhand. As you can see, I was just pushing it a little right, could just be the 0 on it. 1.5-inch group, very respectable. From here, the top right to bottom right holes, those are the farthest apart. And then another 1.5, so very consistent. It was printing to the right both times, so that's just the optic, that's not the gun. Not zeroed correctly for me. 1.5-inch there, very consistent with Skips, very smooth as you saw in the video. The XC, well, it is the most expensive one. They're all upgraded basically the same. XC, center to center 7/8 here, a little tear there, but I measured bullet hole to bullet hole 7/8 there for the XC and 1 1/8 there. So got a 1 1/8 there, 1 1/8 there. 7/8 there, 1 inch there. The wind by 1/8 of an inch would be the XC. And then by basically 1/8 of an inch between the Cosant and the skips, man, that's just too close to call. All three are accurate. You can't go wrong with whichever one you want to play with. A little stress. I'm going to put myself on a timer, and totally cold. As far as the timer, I'm going to give myself a par timer. Let's say 3 seconds. I would think 10 shots in 3 seconds, and we're going to score it, number of points, and we'll just look at the time. If I go over 3 seconds, that'll be bad. So we'll do the same order. Left is a Match X by Cosant, middle is Skips Match X, and right is the XC. And we're just going to see what happens. I cannot see the bullet impacts in this target, even with my glasses. So it's just going to have to be memory. And I'm going to try to hit the 10 ring, of course. Here we go. I'm going to be pointing at the bottom of the target. Okay, I barely beat my. That's 2.6. 2.6. Next gun. Middle target, skips. It was dancing around. 2.67. Hope you can see that. 2.67. Sun's getting warm out here. XC right target. .64. 2.64. So they were all in the 2.6s. Man, that's pretty consistent for somebody that's old and tired like me. Let's go downrange. Sorry about the video cutting off when I grabbed it off the tripod. This was the first gunshot, as you just saw. This is the Cosant Prepped Match X. The time, as you saw, was 2.60 seconds, and we were at basically 40 feet. So we had, all of them are left of center, as you saw in the video, and we had one X for 10 points, 3 10s for another 30 points, 4 9s for 36 points, and 2 8s for 16, for a total of 92 points, which would have been all 10 alphas on a USPSA target. And if you recall, the second gun up in the video was the second one up was the Skips Match X. It was at 2.67 seconds was the time. As you can see there, everything was left, which that just tells me it's the shooter. I was pushing things left because the accuracy drill, I was dead on. So it was just under stress of the timer, which can happen to all of us, and standing, going fast, I shot a little left with all 3 guns. I'll make a 4 to 5 click adjustment and that'll go away. So as you can see here, there was 0 X's, no X's, it was close. It did not break the line. So it was 0 X's, which is still the same 10 points. 2 10s for 20, 3 9s for 27, 5 8s for 40, for a score of 87. And that group was really not bad whatsoever. I was liking that Skips prepped gun. And then the last one was the XC, the Cosant Arms prepped XC at 2.64 seconds. So I did 3 runs back to back cold turkey, and they were all in that 2.60 to 2.67. So that's as consistent as you could be. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shots there. So we have, this has got to be, I never do that. So it was just me getting hot and tired and trying to finish up the video. But I had 1 X, then I had 2 10s, that's 20 there, and 10 there's 30. 4 9s is 36, 1 8, 1 7, and 1 6. And that 6 and 7 is very rare for me, but it still scored out at 87. A passing score for NRA is 70. The FBI qualification uses a more liberal scoring target than this, and their passing score is 80. I hold myself to an 85 or better, and these were both 87. And so with no practice, that was good for me. So thanks for this segment. We'll move on to the finale. Since the Match X by Cosant did win, we're going to do one final drill, and we're going to switch to a familiar target. I'm going to use a USPSA silhouette target, and I'm going to shoot for 100% A-zone alphas at a comfortable pace. Stay tuned. Okay, I'm back. The winner was the Girsan Match X on that unfamiliar target. So for you competitive folks that shoot USPSA or IDPA and you're used to the silhouette target with the A, B, and C zone, etc., I've got one of those down there fresh. I'm going to try for a little bit more speed just to see if this thing can stay in the A zone. I'm going to shoot as fast as I feel I can stay in the A zone. Low ready? Damn, trigger freeze. Shit. Well, that's not good. 229. 229. I had trigger freeze. Let's see where. Seven, 8, 9, 10. Sucks. All right. Let's go see how it scored, though. It might look better on video. It didn't feel great. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 A zones. But if you'll notice, everything is left of center. So for me, when the beep goes off, I guess I push them left. So I'm going to give myself 4 clicks right on the optic, because it's happening every time I shoot those guns fast. It's me, not the gun. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed watching.
Thanks for making it this far through the video review. Well, as a summary, I would say there is no clear or distinct winner. All 3 of the guns function flawlessly through the day and a half of testing, 500 rounds through each gun, possibly a few more. No issues on cycling, feeding, ejecting. Accuracy was really good with all 3 pistols. Speed was really good. Handling characteristics was really good. There was no clear winner. I do believe that the XC was just a tiny bit more accurate. I believe that the Cosant modified Match X with the supplemental porting was the flattest of them all and seemed to be just a little faster. And I believe the Skips entry seemed to be a little smoother. It doesn't make sense. The aggressive texture on the Skips grip gave me the most confidence at speed. And I like the color combination. All of the grips were good. The Chile is, a go-to aluminum grip for me. The Cosant is just a all-purpose, really good-looking and good-feeling grip. And the Skip diamond pattern is just really aggressive, but not painful. So there was no distinct winner. I think the winner is whichever one you want to go with, whichever one you have. The Match X is a great basic platform to be upgraded, and there's many different ways to upgrade it. So if you would like to see additional tests or additional comparisons, please drop a comment. And I'm also considering doing some live Q&A podcast type events where I can interact in a live version with those who want to join in. So drop a comment if you think that would be something that you would be interested in. Thanks again for watching my videos. This is Major Havoc. Y'all have a good evening. I'm out. Thank you.
Shooting straight, that's the way, with Major Havoc every day. Guns and gear, we review it all. For the Second Amendment, we stand tall.